Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Heroes of the Week show. Here with me, Teachers Denek, and also Nrup. Hi, Nrup.
Hi there, hello everyone.
How are you doing, man?
I'm all right. Looks like you aren't home. How are you?
I am in a new home. I have
Oh,
relocated. I'm in Vietnam now.
oh wow, Vietnam.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm back. I was there before, right? So it's not the first time. I'm just in a different city. And one thing I have to say is that I do have actually a roommate, or let's say a flatmate. So
Okay.
I don't want to speak. I don't want to be too loud. So hopefully it won't affect the quality of the show.
Well, you can perhaps invite the person to the show or to maybe write some live comments for us.
Well,
Spam some comments.
they are sleeping because it's the middle of the night for them, right? It's me who is the night
Right.
owl. I'm the night
Damn
owl
it.
here. So
Yeah. The person
actually,
must be
it's
a morning. What's the opposite of night owl? Morning. I don't know.
early bird,
Early
an
bird.
early
Yeah.
bird. Yep.
Okay. I thought there
But
was some other bird for that.
it's 2:30 p.m. for me. So what time is it where you are, Nope?
Well, I'm in India, so it's 1 o'clock, 1 a.m.
That's similar to me actually. But for Europeans, this is 8:30. For Central Europeans, 8:30 p.m.
Right.
Haven't changed the time of the show yet. We'll see what happens in the future. If this is too late, we may have to change it. But thanks everyone who is watching, and don't forget that you can get involved. We are obviously going to talk about our heroes, villains, teams, takeaways, and the vocabulary of the week. And of course, feel free to give us your thoughts on that in the comments. And you can even do that after the show. Like even if you miss the live show, you can still do it. Just leave the comments. It helps the show. It helps the channel. Every person that has a YouTube channel is asking for people to like, share, subscribe. And maybe the most important thing, the most underrated thing is comment.
Support.
Comment.
Well, yeah.
If you leave a comment,
Yeah.
it helps the channel a lot. So
For
even
sure.
if it's something stupid like 3 dots or something like that, it makes a difference. But
I mean,
yeah. I would rather hear your heroes, villains of the week, and so on. Anyway, Nrup, are you ready to start?
Let's go, man. Let's go, everyone.
Okay. Well, team of the week. Do you want to go first, or shall I go first?
I think I'll go first. I don't like to say this.
I hope you don't have the same one.
Yeah, well, I just don't know why.
Please don't force me to say Tottenham again, because I was not gonna. But if you say the other team, I will have to. Tottenham is my second choice.
Well, let's hope that. Same here. Tottenham is my second choice as well.
Okay.
So
you have to go for Tottenham.
Well, okay. So my favorite team's got to be not favorite team. Sorry, my team of the week's got to be Liverpool.
I'm never saying my favorite team is Tottenham. If that's what you are asking me to do, I'm never doing that.
So it's Liverpool FC, team of the week.
Okay. I'm surprised at that. Actually, I was gonna say someone else. So
okay, interesting.
Good. Neither of us has to say Tottenham then, which is good.
Okay, fair enough.
Even though they did pretty well, winning 4-1.
They did. Yeah, credits to them, but.
That's enough.
Liverpool.
That's enough about Tottenham and giving them credit. Yeah. Okay. Now that this is out of the way, let's focus on the good stuff. Yeah.
So well, my choice is pretty obvious because of their run, and this week they performed well. They were trailing 1-0, and they scored 2 goals relatively on the later side of the game, 70 plus on the 70th minute.
Yep.
And here they are, right on top of the table.
Top of the league, yeah, because something unpredictable and unimaginable happened.
Yep.
Arsenal lost, which is not that unimaginable, actually.
Yeah.
It happens these days. But on top of that,
the elephant on the branch.
Manchester City lost, which made me choose Bournemouth the team of the
Very
week,
cool.
because honestly, I watched not the whole game. I watched a large part of that game, and they played so well.
Yeah.
So they deserve this title. They deserve to be the team of the week. They deserve their win over Manchester City, the current holders, and they deserve to help. I should say they have helped basically Liverpool to get to the top of the league.
Fair enough. They have stirred up the table quite a bit. They good call. I mean, their manager was my hero of the week in a way. So for the last week, if I'm not wrong, and yeah, good call. Good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah, absolutely. They deserve it, and they have been playing well consistently for the last few years, and I think they deserve a lot of credit for how they do football in that club, because it's not a big club, right, compared to some giants like Everton, or there are
Bournemouth.
some clubs that are in the championship that are bigger than Bournemouth.
Like I think last season they were battling relegation at the beginning of the season, and then they somehow ended up higher than Chelsea and Brighton.
Exactly.
They were like a proper mid-table team. So kudos.
They're doing an amazing job, and they just a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And beating Manchester City, not an easy thing to do.
Indeed.
So well done to them. And I guess it gives, I don't want to say this, but it gives Arsenal a chance.
Yeah, I mean,
hmm.
I'm looking forward to that because Chelsea also dropped points, but then right now they are one point ahead of us, and we face them next. So perfect build up for us to take up that top 4, top 3 top
Yeah,
top 3.
Chelsea lost points because they played against Man United, right? It was at Old Trafford, and also they had just sacked Erik ten Hag, so it was the manager bounce, or whatever you call it, or sort of relief for the players. Like they have a new chance to show themselves. So I guess it's one of those that it was never easy, right, for them, for Chelsea. But yeah. Okay, well, let's move on then.
Let's move on.
Okay. You go
Yeah,
first.
I'll
Me?
do it. It's
All
right. Dominic Solanke, former Bournemouth player, but unfortunately not for Bournemouth this time. It's got to be for Tottenham. He scored 2 goals when Tottenham were trailing. No, not trailing. I think they were already 1-1 around 49th minute, and they needed all the points, and he scored a quick brace, and I think that sealed the game for Tottenham against the new mighty Villa. They have been a good team, and in a way, and the main reason why he's my hero, because he helped Arsenal by not falling further. Because if Villa had won, Villa would have been above Arsenal, and we would be probably 5th or 6th. So there's a reason why he's my hero.
Yeah,
the hero that we don't need, but the hero we deserve. If I'm the Batman trilogy reference. But
okay. I didn't get that because I haven't seen Batman. So maybe when I was very young. It's an old film, right?
It's the one where Christopher Nolan shot, where there's Christian Bale. So yeah, there's a famous quote like, he's the hero that we need, but not the one that we deserve.
Okay, fair enough. Well, guess what? I was gonna say exactly the same player. Sometimes I will have like an alternative pick, right? Sometimes I will have like another name to give you, but not today. I'm a bit tired, so I'm just gonna go with Dominic Solanke. And also for another reason, I also think it's funny that my team of the week was Bournemouth, and Dominic Solanke, of course, was sold to Tottenham from Bournemouth. So it's kind of cool. And Solanke is also in my fantasy team, and my fantasy team has been underperforming heavily. So actually, this brace kind of saves the week for me, right? And it's not only the brace; it's an assist as well, an FPL assist. So I'm happy with Solanke. I wish I had captained him, to be fair. What the thing that doesn't make me happy is that, again, we managed to squeeze in Tottenham into this debate.
Again. I mean, come on, guys. what's happening. Like, was Arsenal that bad
Okay,
that we have
that's
to
enough.
that we
That's
have to talk
enough.
about Tottenham for 2 sections? Please.
2 sections, yeah. Okay. I've got a clear villain.
Okay,
Tell
go
me
for
yours
it.
then.
I,
Okay.
yeah.
Edison Alvarez,
Okay.
100%. So this is
Okay.
the West Ham game against Nottingham Forest away from home. West Ham needed to win really badly. They won the previous game against Manchester United, a struggling Manchester United, which got Erik ten Hag sacked. But overall, West Ham have been so bad this season.
Okay.
This new manager, Julian Lopetegui, hasn't managed to find some sort of system, or basically it all seems very haphazard, very chaotic, very disorganized, disjointed. And also he seems to be playing players in their wrong positions. He's experimenting way too much. He doesn't know who should be in his starting 11. The players are confused, and on top of that, the players are they have a lack of discipline. So this they have a Mexican player, Alvarez, who was really good last season, and he's a holding midfielder, and he's quite good. He has been one of the better performers for West Ham, but not this season. This season has been quite poor. This is, I believe, his second red. He's known for heavy tackles, and for me, the way he sort of got both his yellow cards were absolutely stupid. You couldn't justify it at all. It was an easy call to make for referee in each case. And the first yellow was absolutely silly. He just pulled someone's shirt, the classic yellow. And the second one, it was a late time tackle, and he didn't have to do it either. It was 1-0 for Nottingham Forest at the time, and that completely killed the game. Now he will be suspended. They already have Kudus suspended. Kudus is suspended for a red, right, from the previous game. And he cannot play for a lot of games. I think 3 or 3 games. So another
Kudus is
player.
3, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
But
So
I think that counts EFL as well, if I'm not wrong.
yeah, true. But they are out of EFL, so
Already.
West Ham, so it doesn't help. But if you mean the League Cup,
Carabao.
Carabao Cup, whatever. So that's my villain of the weekend. I feel sorry for West Ham because I have a soft spot for them, and this is just creating more problems really for the club. And villain, yeah. Even though the West Ham fans will say the true villain is now the manager, they want him sacked already. After 12 games, is it, or 10 games? How many? 10 games?
10 games.
All right. Who is your villain of the week, Noop?
For me, I mean, I hate to say it. Luckily, it's not from the club that we have been talking about, but it's the club that we should talk about, and that is Arsenal. Our manager,
your favorite
Mikel
club.
Arteta. Yeah, unfortunately. The club, well, Arsenal's Mikel Arteta, our manager, he's my villain of the week, and I think it's a fair call to say because of his late run and the last game. I think he's been too one-dimensional with his tactics. I've been seeing it. I understand that he lost some important players, he lost at some important positions, but I think he's not bringing some changes that we need at a critical period of the season, in a crucial game, in the game where it matters. And against Newcastle, I wasn't really supporting the lineup. I really wanted some changes in the lineup, and he made some late calls during the substitutions. I think that costed the game more or less. Like there's no firepower. We have on paper we look good, but you have to remember.
Do you think he's out of ideas, or is it just bad form, or is it lack of squad depth? Because we have some players injured, right? Like Odegaard, like big players.
Yeah, we have Odegaard. We don't have Odegaard. We don't have Tomiyasu, Calafiori, and then I mean we have other players playing different positions because We have players like Havertz, who's not playing as a striker, who's playing like a 9.5 or 10.5, and we have players like Rice, who's playing on the
10.5.
wing.
That's
Yeah,
I
like
didn't know that was a thing. That's quite funny.
I mean, lately I've been
10.5.
calling Havertz our German Giroud for the way he's playing or for the way he's performing.
What does that mean?
A German Giroud, Giroud,
And Giroud, sorry,
yeah,
I
yeah,
heard
it's okay.
something else. Okay, I heard
Yeah, yeah.
something else. All right,
So
got
Giroud,
it.
he's our ex-player, and
Yeah,
he wasn't really good at
Olivier,
Arsenal. Although
Olivier.
he's had some good achievements during his stint at Chelsea, but yeah, anyway, so he hasn't been good at Arsenal so far.
Mhm.
Kai Havertz, and you have players like Rice, who's playing more on the left wing, where when Rice, I see him as a number six, or he has been strong as a number six when I saw him playing in that position against Liverpool. Apart from that, like okay, we have Thomas Partey, who's been performing really well as a right back. I think he's been pretty solid,
Yeah.
and which is one of the reasons why we haven't conceded goal on the right side. But on the left side, we have been playing part-time left backs like Yuri and Timber, and that's the side where we considered the goal. It was an easy cross. It felt like a goal from the 90s or 80s, like a simple cross, a simple header. I mean, come on, guys. How like we have to compete with
Yeah. Also,
bigger
like
teams.
scoring no goals is another
Yeah,
problem, right? So
yeah. I mean, it's been a while. Like we didn't score any goals against Newcastle. We didn't score any goals against Bournemouth. I mean, come on.
if
This
I'm
is some
not
sort of a lean
mistaken, though,
patch.
do we have only 1 point from the last 3 league games? Am I right?
Exactly. Yes, you're right.
That's not really a
That's
title winning form. I'm sorry,
yeah.
it's not.
You
And
know,
Liverpool are doing all right. I guess we are lucky with what happened with City, but uh, with the form
I mean,
Liverpool are in.
I mean, honestly, I'm still positive because I think the situation was the same last season as well. Liverpool were on the top of the table, City were the favorites, and we were some sort of second favorites, and that's how it
Mhm.
turned out to be. Like Liverpool, they bottled it last season. I think they were the biggest bottlers, in my
Yes,
opinion. But anyway,
yes,
talking about Villa of the Week, it's got to be Mikel Arteta, and I think it's a fair call.
yeah. I just want to show you the table because it's actually quite hilarious. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
we
know it.
have.
I don't know if you know it,
I
Nook,
do,
but
I do. We have got a
this is we have got a
surprise name.
Nottingham Forest in the third place.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I know. I know it's early in the season. The season has been what 10
Yeah,
games so far. We have like
they
28 more games left. But hey,
but they deserve it.
yeah, they do. I mean, usually in that position, you have teams like Villa or Brighton or
Yeah.
maybe Tottenham.
Well, they're
So
kind of about around as well. Like,
yeah,
look,
they're around.
there
But
and
like
thereabouts. But
I know,
Chelsea
but
are playing really well, consistently well. So Chelsea are a
I
menace. I think
just
they will be getting better as well.
they're
They're on
annoying.
their way. They are on their way up. Well, there was
They're
no other way to go anyway. But yeah.
they're following our tactics, except splashing lots of money.
Hmm.
They have had a young squad. I think they have the youngest squad in Premier League or one of the youngest
Mhm.
squads. But I just hope that they fall further. I just don't like
Yeah.
Chelsea, please.
Yeah, but we have to give them some credit because finally they seem
Yeah,
to be clicking there, and they have some good players. And let's see when they have another small crisis how they handle it, because I still think they don't have enough. They need to win, but
yeah. Their
they are
defense is
they
weak,
are,
but
they could get into top 4 this season. I think that's not
maybe.
impossible. It
But
could happen.
I would love another 5-0 against them. We'll be facing them next week if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And bring it on.
Wolves, they got a draw. They
Yeah, and
they
I mean,
yeah,
Wolves, they have had only 3 points so far. I
they
think
have three
that's the
points.
biggest upset.
But to be
And
honest, true. But to be honest, it's very open here. Look, they could
it
just
is.
win a game and they are on 6 and they are
Yeah,
out of the
yeah.
relegation battle. So
It's just that for a team like Wolves, I think they should be where, I don't know, Leicester is right now, probably.
mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
takeaway of the week. Have you
How
got
about
any?
I've got well, basically, my takeaway of the week is that because of this week, it made me realize that this league, this season, is not going to be a 3-horse race, as it looked like at the beginning, and as it has happened before, right? The previous season, it was among Arsenal, Manchester City, and Liverpool.
Not really. I mean, come on. Last season, Tottenham were on the top of the table as well for a good amount of time. I remember you telling me that Tottenham might win the league.
Yeah, but wasn't that like the first
It
half of the
was.
season? But then there
Yeah,
was a point like
this
when
is
it
where
was clearly just between these 3 clubs, right? And there
it
was a
was. I
point.
think it was after Christmas.
Yeah, well, that's what
But
the period that
but
matters. But I think true. But okay, that's my takeaway. I'm sort of realizing this, that it might actually not be like that because of Chelsea, Tottenham. I don't know. Nottingham Forest are going to stay where they are for a long time, but still, you never know. It's football, and we remember we remember the time when Leicester won the league. So
yeah,
I'm just saying it feels like it's going to be more even, and not only because of these other teams playing well, but because of the likes of Man City and Arsenal not being exactly at it.
Mm.
It looks like it's not the City are not as strong as they were last season. But maybe it's just the injury of some of the players, right? Rodri and
yeah, fair enough.
the Ballon d'Or winner, right? Rodri.
Yeah, Rodri.
That was controversial. I'm actually surprised you didn't talk about that because that was part of the week we've just had.
I'm about to talk about it.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
Thank you for the honors. It's got to be the reaction by Real Madrid. I mean, they were awarded as the team of the year or the club of the year.
Yeah.
They had the so-called manager of the year as well, and I think they had a fair success, winning UCL controversially. Let's not forget what happened versus Bayern. And yeah, anyway, apart from that, they have had a successful season. They have had their players among top 3, and perhaps further as well, perhaps top 10. And yet they were not there at the gala, at the ceremony, which is arguably the biggest football award ceremony in the world, if I'm not wrong. Although although it doesn't decide who's the best player officially.
I don't care about it so much, to be honest. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just feel like because there's from every country, one journalist decides who they vote for. It's just for me,
it's biased. It's very biased, and
biased.
I feel like
there's opportunity for corruption. You can buy the vote.
For sure.
Sorry, man.
I remember.
This
I
is
remember
not
every
me.
year.
It's a
every
joke.
year I know. Every year they release the votes, and I remember like countries where like the journalists from the smaller countries, I've seen their votes, and I'm like, guys, are they like many of them? It feels like they are nostalgic. They're living in their nostalgic era. Like they will be voting for players who are already far from their best, who are playing in some random league in Brazil or USA, and then they would vote for them. So, can you see me right now?
Yeah, you're frozen, but that's fine. Yeah, I can see you. You've come back now. So your takeaway of the week is that they didn't turn up at this event, and that's. I think you should learn in sports. You should learn how to lose. And I'm sorry, okay, Vinicius Junior is a great player. But sometimes he needs to learn how to lose. Okay, you have to accept it like a man and just move on, and you can win next time because you are this good. Yeah, I'm sorry, because Rodri equally for me. I'm sorry, but for me personally, I would have voted for Rodri as well. And the reason being is because for me, international football is over club football. That's the way I see it. Yeah, I think it's the most important football in the world. I know some people don't see it that way. I do. And winning Euros with the Spanish team in the manner they did, and then I'm sorry, but I still think the Premier League is tiny better competition than the La Liga. It's just my personal opinion. You may not agree, or people, the viewers may not agree. And Rodri won it as well. So I don't know. For me, it's absolutely fine what happened there.
I agree in some parts of your statement, but For me, why I support Rodri is because he was the best player in Euros,
Yeah.
arguably one of the best players or better players for his team. Because the award is mainly about individual performances and achievements. So on this side, he had his individual performance, he had his individual achievements. He took City to semi-finals. He won the Premier League. Although it was controversial that Phil Foden won the Premier League Player of the Year and City Player of the Year, which I
Yeah.
disagree with that. For me, it was always Rodri. He
Yeah.
was the moment. Anyway, apart from that, it's just that for a team like Real Madrid, who's had a heritage of winning, I think, second most Ballon d'Or in the history, I think I think they need to put a respect to the award. They need to put the respect to the ceremony. It's all about togetherness. It's all about it's a formal event, and it's just that they use so much of PR game before the award ceremony. They were blindly giving out names. I don't know if they paid their icon players, but even the ex players and retired players, they were blindly saying with full confidence that yes, Vinicius will win it. There's no other choice, and then like,
I just I
why
don't know
would you do
what's going on there, but it doesn't seem right. Even this
like to me?
competition is, even though I agree with what happened, like with the
Yeah.
I agree with the outcome. I agree with
Mm,
who won it. I would have voted in the same
mm,
way. I
mm,
don't like the competition as a whole and the way it's
mm.
done. I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
just don't.
yeah, I know, I
But
know, I know. There are
also,
lots of
isn't
flaws.
it that a Spanish player won it like after like 40 years or something? I can't remember exactly the number of years, but it was like a long
Well,
time
it was,
since a
and
Spanish
yeah,
player won it last time. So
yeah, yeah. Also,
something
it's
like
been a
that.
long time
Yep.
since a Premier League player won because if you think of it, the Ballon
Yeah.
d'Or, the award, started somewhere in 2007 because until then it used to be called the best player in the world or something,
Yeah.
and even the trophy looked different. So
Mm.
because Ballon d'Or means golden ball, the golden ball ceremony started in 2007, and
Okay.
the first
Well,
this first yeah, it's just that it's a huge achievement for Rodri.
mm,
And yeah, well, my
what's
takeaway
in
has to be Real Madrid's reaction. Just
of course, not everyone has to agree with us. For example, Paul, who joined the
Rodri
last
isn't the
show,
best.
hopefully he will join us next time. Paul says Rodri isn't the best player in any of the teams he plays for, Spain and Man City.
Well, at the moment, no, because he's injured. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Wow.
agree with you. I agree with you, Paul. I totally agree with you.
For me, it's about the consistency, the contribution to the team overall, and he's just the best number six. And number six is they don't win it very often, right? So it's
Right.
also that I'm okay with the choice, and I understand where Paul is coming from too. And Paul also says, "Poor from Real Madrid." I just read an Ecuador journalist who explained why he voted for Bellingham, and it's hard to disagree with.
Wow. I'm curious. I would love to read that article from the Ecuadorian journalist because
Yep, me too. Yeah.
I don't feel like Bellingham deserved it. He was good in the first half of the season, but yeah, well, whatever.
For me, it's about England didn't go all the way, right? They lost in the final.
Mhm.
And Bellingham played really well in the Euros. He was one of the best players there. But still, I'm sorry, just no, not for me.
Mm.
Uh, but he was close, yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys tell us what you think. Thank you very much, Paul. And there are some more comments from Paul, of course. Thank you
Wow.
very much for all these comments. And we have only one part left, and that's the vocabulary of the week. Said you said that you were talking about Olivier Giroud, the
Mm,
French player, the ex-Arsenal
mm,
player, ex-Chelsea player, and you said
mm,
that he wasn't that good during his stint at Chelsea, something like that. I may
mm.
be just paraphrasing you. Yeah.
I
Can't
said that.
remember,
I said that. If
can't
I'm
remember the
honest.
exact words, but I like the word stint, which is an
Mm,
interesting word. So I looked it up for us, and it basically means a person's fixed or allotted period of work. Yeah. So it's a fixed or limited period of time spent doing a particular job or activity, right? So I think a similar word would be spell, right? A spell.
spell, but I think stint
Yep.
is for a shorter period, if I'm not wrong. Like usually
Okay.
when you say spell, it's rather longer. But again,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would
Yeah.
love to know the comments.
Yeah. Well, I'm googling it, and it seems to be a fixed time, right? So it's kind of like it implies that it could be limited, it could be short. You may just be, you might have like a short term contract or something like that. A
Mm.
brief stint. Yeah, it's a common collocation as well. So you're right. You're right. It's often very short. Yeah. hmm Okay, well, I really liked that
Yeah.
usage of that vocabulary. So thank you for that. You're
Cheers,
always
man.
happy to learn something here on this show, of course. And that's great. Thank you very much, Noob, for doing the show with me again. I hope
Anytime.
I have been audible, yeah, because I'm a little bit. I have reduced my volume a little bit. Yeah, I'm speaking at a slightly hushed voice because I don't want to wake up my roommate. So I hope it's been still listenable. Okay, guys, don't
Fair
forget
enough.
if you sorry, Noob.
No, nothing. I just said fair enough
So sorry, I
regarding.
went on autopilot and I started talking about please like, share, subscribe, and all that. Of course, you have to do that. Don't forget about liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting.
It's very important.
Yes, you can do it too, Noob, by the
Support.
way.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Let's create random accounts and just
Yeah,
spam,
I
spam it.
hate that. That's why I never do that. Like I could do that, right? I could do that. But I hate that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys, and we will speak to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Cheers,
See you.
everybody.
See you, Paul.